This is the mess I got going on right now with all these wires. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've already got the switches built for this car on the driver's side. That's the one that has 7 switches on it. I'm going to be wiring those up tonight. I'll show you how I wire them up and how I go through and solder and everything and putting it all together to the closed panel. And I'll show you what the closed panel looks like and how the windows roll up. And then next video, maybe the passenger door or the back doors, who knows. Let's get started. All right, so what I've got here so far is I figured out that this is your window lock and bypass switch. And the way it works is this older switch here, and I wrote this down, these points here, let's see, this one here is going to be going to the load or the window. This is going to be a positive, let me point with this pen. This one is going to be a positive 12 volts all the time. It's always hot. That's how you're able to bypass it without the car being on. And this one here is going to be accessory 12 volts. So when the power comes on, this is what this is right here. Now this is from me deducting with a meter. So I'm going to go over to the car and I'm going to make sure I'm right. So this pin here, this pin right here on the car should be a positive 12 volts all the time. But I also, while I was at it, I figured out this switch here, and this is the back of my my switch that I put, this switch here. It's right here on the back. And I deducted from it on the pins that this one's going to be 12 volts AC. You know, when you turn the key on, you get 12 volts on this particular wire here. This one here is going to be positive 12 volts all the time. And these two are going to be shorted together, going to one wire, and that's going to go to the window or the load. I am soldering pins on this thing so that I can, if I have to take the panel out, which I am going to redo all of this upholstery anyway, so eventually I'm going to take this panel apart again, but right now I'm not. But I'm putting pins on it so that I can unsnap the switches and they can go back together pretty easily. I solder all these wires together because I like a good connection, and I try to use good solder and a good heat source to put these together. I also put heat shrink on everything when I'm wrapping these wires up. It makes it look for a better install, and it takes a little bit longer, but it always looks better and it'll last longer. And ideally you want this to last a long time when you're doing this much work to a car. And you'll see here where I'm soldering all these little, I guess you'd call them butt connectors. And we'll get all of those soldered in, and that way we can just plug the switches in and be done. And we'll get to that in just a minute. The blue wire is the power while the car is on or in accessory mode. The red and yellow is what goes to all the other switches in the other doors. That's the one you can cut off and on to cut your passenger sides off. And the black one, that black one is hot all the time. It is a constant 12 volts inside the car. So the switch you need to get needs to have a 1 position on and then 2 position, which is momentary on, and that would be for your bypass. And that's how I hooked this up. And these are taking their place of all those others, so just got to make sure that I get all this piled in here good and nice and neat as possible. I'm putting heat shrink on every one of them. I know where they are. I know where they go. So it's working out good. When I get through wiring them all in, I will test them out and show you how they work. When I get through with the last video on this little project, I will list all the parts that I used and where I got them from. All right, I got all the wiring done. It is a conglomerate of wires too. and I got them pushed up in there best way I can. And everything is soldered except for these butt connectors right here. These are not soldered. I wanted to have a way to pull it apart fairly easily if I needed to, and I'm going to when I redo all of this interior. But I got it on there, and I think it looks pretty darn good. And here's the bypass still works, so I can roll the window down, roll the window up, just using the bypass. And or I can turn the key on and roll the windows up, and the side windows and all that. Everything works good. All right, we got them working. This is the bypass. Roll the window down, roll the window up. And then you hit the bypass, and you can open up the vent, close the vent. And this works for all the windows, even this back one right here. How about that? That's what they look like. And they light up when you press the button too. See? There we go. Down, up. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate all the support. Please give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you can, share it with somebody if you think this is good content. I like what I'm doing. I'm having fun doing it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.